I, Marcus Johnson, a journalist with a heart for the truth, have lived in the foggy streets of a postmodern England, where every corner of the city is now only vestiges of its brilliant past. Ancient buildings and old lime walls are now just ghosts of time, but they contain so many untold stories. I and my close friend, Alex, who has been through many difficulties with me, walked through the rough roads, where the cold wind blew through each abandoned building, bringing with it the taste of loneliness and nostalgia for things lost. In my mind, there is not only curiosity, but also a burning desire to find pieces of the past, mysteries hidden behind the dust of time. I clearly remember the warm feeling of the morning light shining through the rusted iron doors, like a gentle invitation that brightened my soul. That feeling tells me that, no matter how much this world changes, there are always stories of faith and hope waiting to be discovered. I listened to my heart, felt every breath of history blending with the present, and told myself that every person has the power to find light in the midst of darkness. That day was not only an investigative trip, but also a journey back to oneself, opening a door to untold miracles. I want to share with you that each of us, no matter how difficult life is, always has the opportunity to find faith and the true meaning of life. The moment my life suddenly turned upside down. Together with Alex, we embark on an investigative trip to a distant land where the ruins of history and folk tales blend together like a vivid yet mysterious picture. We walked through quiet streets where the wind blew through ancient buildings, bringing with it the scent of old memories. Sometimes, I feel like every brick, every fragment of this city has its own story. The whispers of the past seem to want to tell us about things that used to happen. The initial journey is just a normal investigation, but the deeper you go, the more strange and unexpected things become. While we were observing the unexplained natural phenomena, a sandstorm suddenly struck, sweeping away everything in its path. Strong winds and sand flying everywhere, causing Alex and I to lose direction in the wilderness. At that moment, I felt an explosion of emotions. Fear mixed with curiosity, but also an incredible feeling, as if the universe was calling me to embark on a new journey. While trying to find my way back, I unfortunately encountered an accident that left me seriously injured. Pain spread throughout my body. I felt like I was sinking deep into a bottomless abyss. My eyes gradually went black, and before I realized it, I was in a near-death state. In that moment, everything became strangely silent. Only the sound of my heart beating echoed in my mind. I feel every beat of myself, every last breath of life that seems to be about to disappear over time. In that near-death state, I seem to be transported into another space, a world where the boundary between reality and spirituality became blurred. I can no longer feel the pain or cold of the outside world. Instead, I found myself enveloped in a light that was as warm, gentle, and close as the arms of a loved one. Blurred images of the past mixed with beautiful dreams flashed before my eyes, as if all my memories had returned in one magical moment. In that space, I began to feel the presence of a force that transcends everything. The whisper of the wind, the sound of running water, and even gentle sounds like the sound of a guitar lulling my heart all seemed to blend together to create a symphony of the universe. That's when I felt I was not alone, but surrounded by an extremely safe and peaceful protection. Then, in the midst of that silence, I realized I was no longer myself. A gentle, radiant figure appeared before me, and in that moment I realized it was Jesus. Not a distant religious image or a solemn image that I had heard about, but a real, close presence that gave me the feeling of being loved and comforted. His voice is warm and gentle, like the whisper of a mother lulling her child to sleep, making me feel safe and confident in good things. Jesus told me that what I am going through is not the end, but a new beginning. He told me about secrets hidden behind ancient walls, about warnings about the modern world where truth and lies are intertwined. I hear and feel each word as pieces of a big picture, a picture of faith, life, and sacred things that we sometimes forget in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. In that moment, I understood that life is not simply what we see with our eyes. It also contains depths that can only be touched when we allow ourselves to feel, listen, and open our hearts. I realized that those seemingly tragic and painful moments actually opened the door to a new world for me, a world of faith, sincerity, and true light. Those experiences made me realize that no matter how difficult life is, we always have the opportunity to find faith and hope. No matter how long the dark moments last, the light of compassion and truth always shines brightly, waiting at the end of the road. I began to realize that each of us can overcome our fears and find the way back to ourselves, back to the origin of our soul. When I entered that moment, everything changed completely. After going through a fierce sandstorm and feeling near-death moments, my soul felt like it had opened a door to another world, where warm light not only dispelled the darkness, but also sparked all the emotions hidden deep within me. I feel like I am lost in a magical space, where the boundary between reality and spirituality becomes blurred, where every breath contains faith and hope. In that moment, all fear and pain seemed to disappear, giving way to a feeling of peace, like being embraced by a mother's arms. In the middle of that space, the image of Jesus slowly appeared. Not a distant image in paintings or myths that I've heard about, but a close presence, like a sincere friend coming to comfort me. I raised my head, stared at him, and with a trembling voice mixed with emotion, I asked, "Mr. Jesus, why are there such secrets hidden behind the walls of time? Why are people stuck in the pain and barriers that they themselves create?" Jesus looked at me with gentle eyes as warm as the morning light. He replied gently, "Marcus, great things are often not revealed to the naked eye immediately. You are living in a world where the limits you think are truths are just the walls you build to protect your heart from wounds. But believe that every time you dare to open your heart, you will find a deeper truth beyond what you ever thought." I sat there, feeling every word he said, like seeds of hope sprouting in my heart. But how can I overcome it when my mind always relies on logic and concrete evidence? I'm afraid that if I let it all go, I will lose myself, and from there, the path to light will become fainter. Jesus approached. The light around him seemed to become brighter, but still maintained its gentleness, like a word of reassurance. "Marcus, don't worry. Your strength does not come from never falling, but from the way you get up every time you fall. Pain and failure are irreplaceable teachers. Look at your scars. They are not a sign of weakness, but a testament to the courage to fight. When you allow yourself to feel and learn from them, you will see that faith and love are endless sources of strength, helping you overcome all self-imposed limits." His words are like streams in a garden, filled with tenderness and comfort. I felt like my heart was healed, but deep down, there were still unanswered questions. "Mr. Jesus, I know that I shouldn't fear the immeasurable, but sometimes I feel like I'm lost in a sea of fears. How do I know that I'm on the right path, that these steps will lead me to the true light?" Jesus smiled, a smile containing both tolerance and encouragement. "Marcus, listen to your heart. Sometimes you won't see the road ahead clearly, but believe that every step you take, no matter how small, is meaningful. Remember, in every challenge, in every moment of feeling lost, you are never alone. Light and love are always there, waiting for you to open your heart to receive. The truth is not only found through numbers or tangible evidence, but also in the emotions, in the sincerity that you give. Go and receive again. I remained silent, letting those words penetrate my soul. Every word, every sentence of Jesus seemed to seep into every cell, warming the long-standing wounds of my mind. You say I can overcome those barriers, but how can I truly let go of the fears and prejudices that have long been formed? I am used to relying on logic to protect myself against uncertainties. The person came closer and placed his hand gently on my shoulder. Marcus, sometimes the protections we build for ourselves become chains that prevent freedom. You can use reason to understand the world, but only faith can help you overcome your own limits. Try allowing yourself to feel every moment, every breath of life. Let your soul be free, soar with hope. When you know how to open your heart, you will realize that this world is vast and full of things, miracles, things that we can only touch when we let go of all prejudices. Those words reminded me of times when I felt stuck, when everything seemed to lose meaning. I gently continued to ask, Mr. Jesus, are everything we experience, even painful moments, just stepping stones for us to find the path to truth and happiness? I wonder if those difficulties are just part of a larger plan to help us grow more. Jesus looked at me with affection, as if he was looking into the depths of my soul. Marcus, that's right. Every scar, every pain is part of the journey of growing up. I never want you to have to endure to appreciate joy. Those trials, although painful, are treasures that help you understand the value of life. When you overcome them, you will realize that everything in this universe has its own meaning, and you, with all your emotions and experiences, are an indispensable part of the big picture of existence. I felt a comfort spread throughout my body, as if his light was warming every hidden corner of my soul. Mr. Jesus, I want to know more. How can I keep that faith, especially when life seems to bring constant challenges? I want to live so that every day that passes is a day I feel alive, loved, and empowered from within. The person smiled, his eyes full of encouragement. Marcus, the most important thing is to live in each moment. When you wake up every morning, feel grateful for a new day given to you. Take some time to listen to your heart, to realize that even though life is full of challenges, there is always a source of inner strength waiting for you to discover. Find joy in simple things. A smile from a loved one, a pure breeze, or simply feeling the warmth of the morning sunlight. Those are endless sources of inspiration that we can carry with us throughout our journey. I felt in those words a soft yet decisive strength, like an invitation to step out of my comfort zone. But sir, I also wonder, are there times when all those good things are just an illusion? When the darkness of fear and despair seems to drown out all hope? Jesus gently squeezed my hand. His eyes seemed to understand all my feelings. Marcus, there are times when the darkness is so thick that you feel like you can't find a way out. But in those times, when you feel like you're lost in the unknown, remember that light always exists, even if it's just a weak ray of light, enough to guide you. Believe that even when you can't see, you can always feel the presence of love, of faith. Those are the things that never die, no matter what you're facing. With so many challenges, I sighed, feeling like my heart was gaining strength through his every word. Mr. Jesus, your words are like a melodious song, soothing every wound in my soul. I realize that perhaps what I need is not only to understand with my mind, but also to feel with my heart. How can I maintain that faith, even when life brings me the darkest moments? Jesus smiled, a gentle and loving smile. Marcus, keeping faith is not easy, but it is not too far-fetched either. Give yourself moments to listen and feel. Find peace in your soul, maybe through reading, meditating, or simply sitting by the window looking at the sky. Whenever you feel weak, remember that you have overcome other difficulties, that inside you there is always a strong source of energy. Allow yourself to be loved. Love, be forgiven, and live each moment to the fullest. Those words were deeply engraved in my mind, opening up a new perspective for me on how to live and how to face challenges. Mr. Jesus, from now on, I will try to live that way. I will learn to listen to my heart, to realize that even when I feel lost, I can always find the light from within. I will teach myself that every challenge is an opportunity to grow more, to love more deeply. He held my hand gently. His eyes were gentle like a promise that would never fade. Marcus, remember, your journey is a journey of discovery and love. Sometimes you will encounter deadlocks, but never give up. Believe that every step you take is a step towards freedom, towards human truth. You will find companions, people willing to share and overcome all difficulties with you. And above all, never forget that you are always loved, even in the darkest moments. In that moment, as Jesus gradually left, the light around me gently faded, but the echoes of his words still echoed in my mind. I feel like I have been reborn, with a heart full of new hope and faith. I understand that even though the road ahead is full of uncertainties, as long as I keep my faith, open my heart, and know how to love, I will always find the light to guide me. I told myself that my journey doesn't stop here. I know that there are still many secrets to be discovered, many stories to be told. But from that moment, I changed. Not only in the way I view the world, but also in the way I love and share with those around me. Jesus' words are like a torch of light and will always remind me that in every step, no matter how many stumbles there is always a small ray of light that guides me back to myself. Now, as the light gradually returns, I look around me with new faith, with a strong desire to live. I feel the intersection between the past, present, and future, like a vivid picture painted with the colors of hope and love. I understand that to live fully, we need to know how to accept everything, even the pain, even the failures, and even the lost moments, because those experiences, even though they sometimes make us feel weak, are the bricks that build the path to true happiness. That conversation with Jesus changed me forever. It taught me that the truth is not out there, but is always present right in the hearts of each of us, waiting to be discovered through small but meaningful moments. I know that even though there are times when life makes me fall into the abyss of loneliness, as long as I remember that there is a light that once shined into my soul, I will never lose my way. And now, I want to continue on that path, sharing faith and hope with all those who are looking for a way out amid life's challenges. With every step, I will remember what Jesus taught: live, love, and believe in yourself. Allow the immeasurable to open up to you. Let yourself be free, feel, and love. And when you feel tired, remember that inside you there is always a source of divine strength, always ready to light your path. I thank Jesus for coming to me, for sharing with me his teachings that are not only a reminder of the existence of a metaphysical world, but also an invitation to live a fulfilling life, a life full of love and compassion. Thanks to that, I found faith in myself and in the power of love. My journey is still long, and every day that passes is an opportunity for me to live, love, and spread those messages to those around me. I know that no matter how many challenges await, as long as we keep faith, open our hearts, and never give up hope, we can all find the light to guide us through all the darkness. And I, Marcus, will always be the one carrying that fire, sharing with everyone that in every moment of life, As long as we open our hearts, we will always be able to find endless inspiration from faith and love. Live to the fullest, love, and always remember that no matter how harsh life may be, the light of faith will always guide us back to ourselves. When I opened my eyes again, I realized I was lying in a room filled with warm light. Outside, there were people whispering worriedly. Although my body still had wounds from the sandstorm accident, my soul was full of new vitality and faith. I know that what I went through is not just a simple near-death experience, but a reminder, a great mission that I need to share with the whole world. After regaining consciousness, I walked out of the rescue camp and realized that everything around me had changed. The air was filled with hope. The smiles of those who took care of me were like rays of sunshine after the rain, warm and full of motivation. However, inside I still have scars not only on my skin, but also in my soul, marks of an unforgettable past, but they also make me stronger. I understand that, to live fully, I must face the truth and spread the message I receive from Jesus. That day, I decided to start sharing my story. I do not choose the easy path because I know that the truth always meets resistance, from those who are still attached to the familiar way of life to powerful forces that hide secrets. But I also know that if I keep silent, people like me, people who are searching for light in the midst of darkness, will never have a chance to find a way out. So I mustered up my courage and started with articles in the newspaper, small meetings with trusted friends and relatives. Every time I come out, I feel my heart vibrate like the war drums of warriors who have overcome many challenges. I told them about my near-death experience, about the moment I met Jesus in that magical space, about his teachings, words that made me gradually realize that the barriers we seem to be invisible are actually the things we create to protect ourselves from pain. I share with everyone that it is when we dare to open our hearts that we can feel the magic of life and see that love and faith are never illusory things. At first, not everyone listened. There are people who think that I am just indulging in delusions, just the result of an unstable mood after the accident. But gradually, my story spread, awakening in the hearts of listeners a ray of hope, a desire to find light amid the difficulties and challenges of life. I meet people who have experienced loss, people who feel like life is just endless dark nights, and I tell them that if only we dare to open our hearts, if only we believe in the power of love, everything will change. As time passed, my story began to receive attention from many sides. There were not only meetings and small discussions, but also articles and interviews on television. However, I still keep myself simple, always talking as if I were telling a close friend. I always remind everyone that no one is perfect. Each of us has scars and failures. But the important thing is, we must never give up faith and hope.